Here's apparently a list of the hottest investor suburbs of 2025. Let's check it out. Now, I won't go through absolutely all of them. Feel free to pause it so you can read it yourself. But you've got Rockhampton, Geraldton, Broome, Port Lincoln, Curwen. There's a few there. Coomera, Coffs Harbour, Nambour. So feel free to pause it. Let's have a look at a deep dive of a few of these. Now, when you start off initially looking at the growth that Rockhampton has had over the last 10 years, it works out to be about 8.8% per annum on average over the last 10 years, which isn't bad on surface level. 6.8 is Australia's average, so this is 2% higher on average per year, which sounds good. But one thing that you need to consider is what the growth was like actually pre-COVID. So as you can see, the market was actually on a decline and not stable. So that's a red flag in my opinion. The marketplace only really went up post-COVID boom, and then when interest rates went up again and the whole country was looking into regional marketplaces. Same example with Mandurah in WA. As you can see here, pre-2020, the market was on a pretty steady downfall, and this is pretty across the board on most WA suburbs. That's why I personally avoid Western Australia in general. As you can see, Broome in WA as well, the worst one out of all of them so far, super unreliable. If you average out the last 10 years, it works out to be about 1.8% per annum over the last 10 years, which is super bad. One on the list that actually wasn't too bad was Coomera in Queensland. It actually had a little bit of growth pre-2020, which is good. And the long-term capital growth rate works out to be about 12.5% per annum over the last 10 years, which is really good. Another good market also was the Coffs Harbour marketplace, which had very similar numbers to Coomera. And finally, finishing off with another really choppy one with unreliable data, Andrews Farm in South Australia. Again, super choppy data. Works out to be about 3.8% per annum over the last 10 years. So as you can see, there were actually a few suburbs in here that did perform well, like Coffs Harbour, Coomera. But I guess what I want to stress is do your own research. Don't just look at an article like this, because probably 70% of these properties here did not perform well long term. They've only done well in the last few years, which most of Australia has. So one piece of advice for you to take home: before you invest, don't just look at the last 2 or 3, maybe even 5 years, because most things post-COVID has done well, with the exception of a few marketplaces, obviously. Make sure you look at the last 10 years at least.